Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gaming Entertainment Hub. And recently, based on recent speculations, it looks like that the upcoming Switch 2, like Nintendo's upcoming new console, which we are now calling the Switch 2, could possibly be worth like at least could probably be worth $400 or is at launch, and will be arriving sometime later this year. And and of course, that kind of like if that does happen, I would not be shocked if that does happen, and all stuff. But I will probably explain later after I break down this news article, a little by IGN. And so yeah, and without any further ado, as always, let's go ahead and break this down, shall we? And then, so for starters, it says that that the Switch 2 seems likely to release this year, but when, yada yada. There are some questions like yada 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 if industry things. So yeah, so basically basically the article starts off saying that, oh yeah, Switch might be coming out later this year, and then it'll be at a price tag of $400, which is what I believe was how I believe that was how much the PS4 cost when it first came out back in 2013. And then it continues saying that offering to the predictions is for 2024. Dr. Cirkin Toto, a Canton Games analyst noted for being a Nintendo expert, said that he believes that the Switch 2 will be out later in 2024, while also affirming that the persistent but unconfirmed rumors that the Switch Pro was originally going to be in development at some point, but then they basically kind of scrapped it, probably due to time and resource constraints, and in my opinion, and also due to the fact that we're probably closing in at the end of this generation, which has been I believe the seventh generation has been over for about a few years, and I don't know, no, not seventh generation, I mean eighth generation. So, and then here's what he has to say. So, he stated that the time is finally here for the Switch successor. You know that he says that a Pro model actually did exist, and certain developers were already working with the dev kit. He stated that he believed that the next hardware will drop next year for $400, and that there is a high chance that the games will cost more or as well, such as $70. Wow. Now, that's going to be, which, man. Well, of course, not that kind of a surprise if it does go $70, because that's how, like most games this generation, cost around $70 on average. And the next system will also likely be an iteration rather than a revolution. And Nintendo might add some bells and whistles to the device, but it will be similar to the current Switch. And because there is a Pokemon, and Pokemon is associated with handheld gaming, there is no way on earth that Nintendo will drop the portability feature for their next big thing. And for your analyst, Piers Harding Rolls also weighed on his own predictions, saying that he expects the console market to be up marginally, aided by the launch of a next-gen Nintendo console, more than likely a Switch 2 towards the end of the year. Nintendo and Harding Rolls predictions lend further weight to the persistent belief that the follow-up of the 7-year-old Nintendo Switch is near. Man, it's hard to believe it's been that long already. So the Switch 2 has been heavily rumored since 2023, when a demo meant to reflect the platform's expected hardware capabilities was reportedly shown to developers at Gamescom, and little is known about the device, and Nintendo has persistently denied rumors of the existence, but there has been consistent chatter about DLSS capabilities and more. So, if the Switch 2 is indeed an iteration rather than a revolution, it will seemingly be closer to the 3DS, which built on the success of the DS with improved hardware with 3D screen, with a 3D screen among other additions. And the main question is whether or not it will be backwards compatible, which is one of the major requests from Nintendo fans. But hey, personally, if they actually do make it backwards compatible, then I gotta say this would I believe that would actually benefit this upcoming Switch 2 console, which is one of the reasons why the PS5 that's like one of the biggest benefits of owning like a PS5, which is also backwards compatible for PS4 games. And then he continues saying that we do not know when Nintendo is going to be on the console, and that's kind of like IGN, like the author of this article, is kind of like making their own speculations and also giving us a little bit of a recap on the current roadmap that Nintendo has with their products based on what they've basically announced on their previous directs with the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake that's coming out sometime this year on the Switch, and so on. And so yeah, I gotta say this is actually I'm also shocked, but also not that shocked as well when it comes to the pricing. And because I know that Nintendo usually has a history of basically kind of like basically not trying to follow any trends, is that 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 its competitors, both Xbox and PlayStation, usually do, to where they kind of like embrace the microtransactions and also of the price tag, while Nintendo has always been kind of like mostly conservative with their business practices and don't want to try to easily adapt to changes. But at some time, like around the Wii U era, that's when they started to like implement DLC into their games, such as Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers, and which basically kind of continued on and so forth. And also with the Switch, they kind of like replicated some of the features of like Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus, saying that oh you want online service, then you gotta pay for it every single year or every month, which is which is unfortunately what they kind of do with the Switch. And I know, yeah, kind of like understand their ideas, like where they're going at, but personally, in my opinion, like the Switch's online service is very flawed compared to how they did their, I think it was like their virtual console. Well, yeah, I think their virtual console feature, to where they had for both the Wii and the Wii U, to where you could go in there and then actually buy any classic games that you want to buy, such as you want to play a Mario Kart, Mario 64, the original Smash Brothers, or Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask. Well, guess what? You can actually go log into the virtual console store and actually buy them yourself, and there you go. Now you own it, and didn't have to like pay any kind of subscription to actually continue playing those games, which is, I believe, is just, in my opinion, very kind of anti-consumer, or in my personal opinion. But and also same thing, like with the recent speculations that at the Switch, that the Switch 2 is also going to build on the success of the Switch in terms of the design of the hardware, which is also not that much of a surprise anyways. And I gotta say, like when the overall concept of the original Switch being more of a hybrid of a of a handheld device and a traditional home console, I gotta say that was actually it was a brilliant concept that actually worked pretty well, especially such as saying, oh sweet, now I can actually play Skyrim on the go. Oh, when I'm taking a vacation or taking some kind of trip up across the country or overseas, then well, I can play Skyrim on the go. Oh, while I'm sitting in the plane, and which is actually was like a really nice touch. And I gotta say, this is probably gonna break Nintendo's usual tradition of nearly 20 years of basically not trying anything new straight out of the box. What they've been doing like for nearly 20 years, since way back when the Wii came out, to where they show, oh look, it's with the Wii you could actually physically interact with it with the bowling and all this stuff, and which made themselves very unique from the competition, while Xbox and PlayStation remain conservative with the traditional way of gaming, just saying, oh, this simple, pick up the gamepad and just play the game as you go, play the game, aim and have a good time, while Nintendo tried to create new ways of innovating the ways of how they design their consoles. And also the Wii U kind of like sort of kind of like created the rough draft for the Switch, but then the Switch also improved on that, and the fact that there's the possibility that the upcoming Nintendo console is going to replicate the success as the Switch, but also add more better quality of life features to them. I'm honestly not really that surprised at all, and and I think that's probably in my opinion, might be the best route to go to with this upcoming console. And so yeah, that's kind of like my speculations, and also yeah, I think I also did like some like if you all saw in my previous videos, I did like did break down some of the patents for the, I believe like they had like a patent for the next gen for the Switch 2, which is gonna be exactly like the Nintendo Switch. And of course that wouldn't be that much of a surprise, but hey, since these are kind of like speculations, definitely take them all with a grain of salt and not news. And so yeah, right now that's going to be it for today's video, guys. And if you found this video to be helpful and informative, then be sure to drop a like as always, subscribe for more content like this, hit the bell to be notified whenever my next video is going to drop. And if you got your own thoughts or opinions, and based on what you can expect from the Switch 2, then go ahead and sound off in the comment section below, get a discussion going, because I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next one.